You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.
Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use.
Society is overflowing with what I like to call extra men that nobody asked for. And it sounds harsh. We're not trying to male bash or anything. It's just a reality.
You drip me out and then maybe we can talk about...
A quick good day to all of my leftover men that are watching this video. If you're not the type of guy who is prepared to engage this type of attitude, then you may too be a leftover man in today's modern dating environment.
There was a creator on here talking about the worst kind of man to date, and those are the men that will literally spend on activities for you both. He will not spend on you unless he's benefiting from it. I couldn't understand why this type of man irritates me so much, because I mean, he's doing stuff, he's putting in effort, but why the you can't just ever send me my funds for me? Those type of don't really care about you. It's all about the ones that still provide when they're not in your presence. That's a real generous man, not a man that buys you this, that, and that, and he benefits from it. I'm talking dates. If it's a gift, he benefits from that gift. The biggest example of this is like, if you tell a man, I'm on my period, can you send me some Tylenol, food, flowers, whatever, right? And he says something like, I'll pick you up and I'll take you there. What the fuck if I just want to be by myself right now? I feel like a real generous man, you tell him like, I'm on my period, I need some Tylenol, blah, blah, blah. Either DoorDash the shit to you or just send you the money. I'm talking about the ones where every single thing he does for you has to involve him. He's not really doing shit for you for real. And now I figured out why those type of men irritate me, because they're not truly generous. They're stingy.
Apparently there's an epidemic around the world of leftover men. So let's hear what a leftover man is.
Society is overflowing with what I like to call extra men that nobody asked for. And it sounds harsh. We're not trying to male bash or anything. It's just a reality. So I want you to think of the fact that there is a demographic of unnecessary men. Think clearance rack at Walmart. I'm not trying to be funny. I promise.
The 97 cent bin.
Just think there's always going to be a group of men that don't get married, that's never chosen, that nobody wants to have babies with, nobody wants to make eye contact with. Women clutch their purses when they walk past them. You know what I mean?
All stacked up like some flapjack.
All right.
Oh.
Those men are amongst us, and they are dangerous because a lot of them are radicalized to think they are owed a woman. Mm-hmm. A lot of men think that, they have this entitlement because of how they were brought up in the patriarchy.
Come on over here and get Jerome a hug so we can make pigs in a blanket. Mrs. Butterworth.
So let's just assume that there's a large glut of American men that are just leftover men. If that's the case, of course, then that means that, like she said in the video, there are men all over the world that are quote-unquote leftover men. If you're taking that attitude overseas as a woman, and I could say if you're taking it to Japan, especially if you're expecting guys to come out of the pocket and pay for you just because basically you showed up, you get an interaction that looks like this.
We come to your house? That's what. How would you take me on a date first? Date first. Take me on a date.
I can't say for sure that this is a quote-unquote leftover man because it's very complex to define that. But I would say that he's an average guy, at least for Japan, so to speak. And he's simply telling this woman, even with the language barrier, you know what I want. He used the word hageshi, which means vigorous. Like, I want to have vigorous activities with you. And she's trying to negotiate him spending money on her. And you can see that he's reticent to do that because he doesn't see a need for it. I guess he sees her as just someone that you have fun with. And she is so used to things in the West where my presence alone is worth you spending money on me. You're a leftover man. Why aren't you pulling out your wallet right now? And he's letting her know that you're not as valuable as you think you are.
We come to your house? How would you take me on a date first? Date first. Take me on a date. Date, yeah.
Love?
Yeah, maybe you take me on a date, take me shopping.
Love me.
Give me some Balenciaga and Louis Vuitton. I want some designer too. You drip me out first. You drip me out and then maybe we can talk about...
海外の人そうだよね。海外の人はおっぱいも大好きだし、ボテルも大好きだよね。イエーイ。見て。
Sure, yeah.
俺のバレンシアガ見る？
To be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure why she uploaded this particular clip, but I couldn't make out all of what they're saying because it's a dialect that's a little bit different and they're speaking very fast, but essentially they're saying, I want what I want and I'm not really trying to pay you for it, but if you want to come back to my place, kind of conversation. And I'm pretty sure that that's a culture shock to her because she expects guys to act like us. Pull out the wallet, wine and dine her, and then be on the knees begging for some action at the end of the night. And that doesn't translate many places overseas. Although this is iShow Speed, and it's very possible that the woman already knows who he is, this is the direct antithesis of what we just saw, where in one situation, the young lady is used to men opening the wallet and paying for her attention, and she's trying to elicit that from the man that she's dealing with in Japan. And here, this is iShow Speed talking to a Chinese woman, I think she's Chinese, and you see the different level of charm that black men bring to the table. And she's clearly not used to it.
When I get my phone, we should exchange numbers so I can call you when I go back to China.
You're just kidding, I know.
I'm not kidding. Bella's,
It's a joke, I
Bella's,
know.
no, I'm being serious.
Just a joke. Can I take one more photo? That is so ugly me.
You're not ugly?
Yes.
You are beautiful.
That is a very unique charm that us as black men, African-American ADOS men, bring to the table because we are the R&B creators. We're the guys who write the poetry, the middle of the Boys to Men, Baby Come Back to Me song where you're slow talking and baby, you know I want to be with you. All that stuff, that's us. And she's not used to it. And she's experiencing that for the first time, even from a celebrity, but we bring that to the table. And that is something that takes us off the clearance rack when we go to other countries.
You are beautiful. Don't ever downgrade yourself like that. You are absolutely stunning.
Come on, one more.
You know you look great.
Just a little bit I showed you, I think. Like this.
Do you have, what's that app called? WeChat? You got WeChat?
Yes, I do.
I got WeChat too.
I have.
And I got Red Note.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get my phone. You stay right here.
Sure.
When I hear people talk about how there are so many unwanted men, and more specifically unwanted black men in America, the thing that I would tell those men is that when you go overseas, you put yourself into a different situation where there are young ladies who don't see themselves as very beautiful, like in this particular situation. And iShow Speed is simply letting her know that, I don't know if he's going to date or not, I don't know his girlfriend situation, he says that's girlfriend, whatever. He's letting her know that you are cute to me. And remember, when you talk about flint and steel, you only need one piece of flint and one piece of steel to start a fire. You don't need 15 pieces of flint and one piece of steel, or 15 pieces of steel and one piece of flint. You need one and one. And if you get those together, you get your magic. And for the guys that don't have the opportunity to go overseas, you are in luck, because guess who just made the World Cup that's coming to America? If you're not a big follower of football, the world football, not American football, you may not be aware that Cape Verde just qualified for their first World Cup in their country's history. And when you start talking about Cape Verde, there's one thing that comes to mind. And if you're a leftover man, one of those discount bin men that the young lady was talking about in the previous video, well, this might be coming to a city near you in North America.
Pretty ladies. I heard there are a lot of beautiful girls here in your country. Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
So 1 million people watching right now. So they said they love Cabo Verdean girls.
We love y'all too. They should come. They should come. They should come to visit our
Are
country.
you single? Are you single?
I am.
Hold on. How about you? Are you single?
Single.
What's
You
your
can follow my
handle?
Instagram. Maria Estrella Livia Lush.
So our country is hot every single day.
So everybody's wearing bikini.
Yes, every day. So we live around the ocean.
This is a friendly reminder to any of the quote-unquote leftover men that are in the dustbin of America that the world is very large. And sometimes you can go to the world and other times the world will come to you. But the truth of all of it is one piece of flint and one piece of steel gets a fire going. If you're in a place where everyone's telling you that your piece of flint or steel, whichever you want to use for the analogy, is no good, is something that you're supposed to pay someone to even look at or even entertain, then just switch stores. Because if you're discount bin in one store, you might be the showpiece in another. And for our counterparts, I would simply tell them, if you're going to go overseas, you might need to drop some of those attitudes that you have back home, because quite simply put, there's no better place to date for young ladies than in America in terms of what you can demand from people that you're not married to. Now, when you start talking about marriage, it's a whole different ballgame, but someone that you just met and you're demanding them basically bring over trinkets and not even be there, just send it over like Uber Eats, and the fact that he's with you enjoying the date is him being selfish, there aren't many countries where that flies. So remember that. And for the guys that are hearing that, there are plenty of ladies in a lot of different countries that would just enjoy the idea of that. And so don't feel like you're left over all across the world. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.
All right, so Mr. Z's on the road, so excuse my background and whatever road noise, and whether we bork or not, my apologies. We're going to say that from the onset. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and the hype button on the way out. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's get to it. Shout out to Passport OG. Passport OG, I'm going to need you to stop. He's making too much good content. I feel like covering all of it. I have something to say about all of it. Shout out to Passport OG. Really, really good stuff. Oh, sovereign black women. Oh, the little bitter Betty. The So sovereign women essentially said, there's too many men. We have an overproduction of men. They're clogging up the system. Nobody wants them here, and they're going to be violent anyway. Shout out to all you ladies. Y'all say y'all want to be single. You say you would rather be single than deal with average men. The sovereign women of the world are trying to make you mean that. Oh man, I guess y'all will be here with your rose toys and being the sexual plaything for the 6'5" tall Sizzle Chin Chad and Tyrone's, and you grab a ticket. See, Mr. Z be joking, serious, but be joking when I say you grab a ticket and be chick number 737 for the elite men. And Sovereign says, you know what? You're right. Oh man, you gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love it. Okay. Why we're covering this is to emphasize certain points. There's a couple of things I want to speak on. One, if you notice the difference in how Black women approach and women in the West approach dating, men, relationships, but particularly dating, and you notice the difference between how the Chinese young lady spoke. And she's not the only one, Pastor. She has played something from a Japanese young lady. And you see they bid themselves down, which is a very interesting party trick, right? They bid themselves down. And what you saw was the young brother say, no, you're gorgeous. And you saw the look on his face when he said it too, right? Now, what Western and Americanized women do, particularly obviously Black women, is they bid themselves up. And there's nothing more crushing than when you bid yourself up and you say, I'm worth a Louis bag, I'm worth a Birkin bag, I'm worth a Benz S-Class, a Benz G-Wagon. I am a 10. We're all 10s. I deserve the world for my mere presence. God forbid I'm actually good looking. God forbid I actually am academically accomplished. But just for my mere presence, I am deserving of everything you can possibly ever do in life, right? Now, nothing is more crushing than when the environment and men through action show you, see, we don't really see you like that. You know? We don't really see you like that. I don't know if I want to spend grands. You're a little overweight. You got a crap attitude. You're coming with so many student loan debt. You might have a child from another man. Ugh. I don't know. Your hygiene is questionable. I don't know. Huh? Nothing is more crushing. Right? And my apologies if I'm borking. And I'll just reiterate certain points. What Mr. Z is saying is look at the difference between how the Asian young lady spoke of herself, bidding herself down, right? And look at how the Black women, but Americanized women, Western women speak on dating, right? Where American women, Westernized women are all 10s. They'll always tell you, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. Now, are they getting 10 results? Of course not. Do they have men chasing them down to be supermodels? No. But they're telling you they're a 10. Do they have talent agencies chasing them down? Modeling agencies chasing them down to be a model? No. But they're 10s. They're physically 10s. Yeah, that's it. This young lady, on the other hand, says, oh, you're joking with me. You're not interested in me for real. Huh? That's number one. Appreciate that the ladies tell themselves something. They have it reinforced by the culture, but they don't have it reinforced by the individual single men. Let Z say it again. Dear ladies, when it comes to dating, your opinion means nothing. The technocrats' opinions mean nothing. Huh? Your girlfriends and your homegirls and all their, girl, he don't deserve you. Their opinions mean nothing. Only one group of people opinion matters when you are a single woman, and it's single men. Single men is the only one who opinion matters. Huh? Single men. Yikes. And what we have are women who think if they tell you they're a 10, if they tell you what they're deserving of just for their mere existence, that you won't have a choice but to oblige. Not only that, what they're doing is signaling to elite men that they're better than the majority of men, so come get me. I won't lessen myself, lower myself for these loser men at the bottom. I only have eyes for you, Mr. Elite Men. Shout out to Sovereign Woman. Shout out to you. Unfortunately for Sovereign Woman, there's a big wide world out there. And so all of the extra men, the superfluous men, the men that she sees as just breathing the elite rich white man's air, huh? Unfortunately for Sovereign Woman, those men, if they earn enough, could always just be passport bros. Let's reiterate this. The sovereign women of the world, they're going to make sure that Mr. Z wasn't wrong. You're going to have black women become the Roma and Gypsy class of America. They will be the acolyte. They will be the little tribe of mean, witchcrafty women. The little co-munching coven of women. Huh? And if that's what black women want to resign themselves to, so be it. Mr. Z is calling it now. It may not happen in my lifetime, but I'm calling it now. The masses of black women will forget concubine class. They will resign themselves to, temper tantrum themselves to being the coal-munching coven of spiritual, witchcrafty, voodoo practicing, hoodoo practicing, huh? Crystal globe or watching people of America. That is what they're going to resign themselves to. If Mr. Z is all for it, if that's what they want, if they like it, I love it. Huh? If they like it, I love it. Now, Sovereign is she has on a podcast. Somebody sent me the link a month ago or a little over a month ago, and I clicked it and I put it in my history and I lost it. She's on a podcast with two white women, I want to say, and this is the type of talk, that they go on with. And once again, shout out to Pastor OG for playing that for us so that y'all could hear the little snark, the little sass. You see the look on her face while she talks. All that sound nice because, once again, the outliers are doing too much talking. So Sovereign can talk like this because Sovereign is making okay, stable money. I think she's a truck driver still, right? So she's all right. Are the masses of black women all right? No. Could the masses of black women afford their life? No. Besides the point, Sovereign said she would rather see y'all starve than be on an average black man or an average man's program. And that's perfectly okay. Huh? This is why we document it too, so that none of these folks can pretend like they don't know what the hell we're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. Here she go. Huh? Yeah. We're going to play a Sovereign again. Look at her face when she speaks. Look at the sass. Look at the smug on her face. All that sound nice. Unfortunately, the masses of black women can't afford it. Huh? We're not even speaking about the emotional aspect of it all. I love listening to these weirdo women talk as if women are doing swell without the companionship of a man, right? Women are doing swell. Those antidepressant rates aren't skyrocketing. Nope. Mr. Z's making that up, right? The antidepressant rate for women isn't skyrocketing. Black women don't take just about 3 times more antidepressants than black men, right? No, that got nothing to do with that, right? Yeah, that's it. I said it. The gender warring of the sovereign women's of the world, the Chrissies of the world, the Real Talk with Yannies of the world, the Kim Fosters of the world, etc., etc. The divested zealots, etc. Paris Milan, Cynthia G, name them. Manifestel, Shira 7. There's so many. Mr. Z can't even remember all the names. The gender warring that they're engaging in with men in general, black men specifically, it hurts no one more than it hurts black women specifically. Because many of these women are outliers. And they can at least financially afford to speak this way, to be so antagonistic. The masses of women cannot, the masses of black women cannot afford it. But they'll engage also. And then when the fallout and the cost for this crap comes to bear, guess who got to pay it? Huh? Guess who has to pay it? See, Paris Milan got into a back and forth with the mixed light skinned girls, and they started getting with her. And guess what happened? Y'all saw what happened, right? What happened? Paris Milan just packed up her things and got off of YouTube. There you go. Oh wait, Paris Milan is married. Oh wait, Paris Milan is married to a black man. Yikes. A marriage that she hid from her own subscribers. Uh-oh. Huh? Paris Milan is married. She hid her marriage. That means she hid her engagement and she hid her marriage. Meanwhile, while she was hiding her engagement and her marriage, she was talking about femicide concerning like black men. Like over every corner is some 50, 60 some odd year old black man preying on some 14-year-old black girl. She popularized the idea of black femicide. Black men deleting black women just because. Meanwhile, she's engaged and she's married. Wow. Drew Affiolo. Sell y'all on hate men. Men ain't ish. And she openly says it straight up to y'all. Except for my man. I mean, like, I love my man. And my man's an exception. And huh? Drew Affiolo on sumo wrestler Bill Tass. WWE, WWF Bill Tass. Huh? She's selling the masses of you. Once again, the outliers are doing too much talking. A whole lot of women in relationships who are married or who are doing well financially, selling other women, single, lonely, broke-ass women on men ain't ish. Meanwhile, these women are in relationships, they're married, huh? And what are the masses of women supposed to do? Well, eat that. Huh? My apologies, y'all. Gotta get the stepping. Nope, out of here. Nope, out of here. And we're back. All right. So with that, we're gonna play Sovereign again. Shout out to Passport OG. Good find. Good find. appreciate this. You're seen as extra. You're an average brother. You're doing okay-ish in life, and a bunch of okay-ish, less than okay-ish women, namely black women, are telling you you're not elite enough. You don't earn enough. You're not tall enough. You're not good looking enough, and that's perfectly okay. Leave them out here. If they want to listen to women like Sovereign, because for them, the feeling of feeling better than you is their security and stability, then so be it. Dear black men, right? So let's play this again, and shout out to Pastor OG, right? We're going to play this again, and we'll talk about it on the other end.
Society is overflowing with what I like to call extra men that nobody asked for. And it sounds harsh. We're not trying to male bash or anything. It's just a reality.
You drip me out and then maybe we can talk about...
A quick good day to all of my leftover men that are watching this video. If you're not the type of guy who is prepared to engage this type of attitude, then you may too be a leftover man in today's modern dating environment.
There was a creator on here talking about the worst kind of man to date, and those are the men that will literally spend on activities for you both. He will not spend on you unless he's benefiting from it. I couldn't understand why this type of man irritates me so much, because I mean, he's doing stuff, he's putting in effort, but why you can't just ever send me my funds for me? Those type of don't really care about you. It's all about the ones that still provide when they're not in your presence. That's a real generous man, not a man that buys you this, that, and that, and he benefits from it. I'm talking dates. If it's a gift, he benefits from that gift. The biggest example of this is like, if you tell a man, I'm on my period, can you send me some Tylenol, food, flowers, whatever, right? And he says something like, I'll pick you up and I'll take you there. What the fuck if I just want to be by myself right now? I feel like a real generous man, you tell him something like, I'm on my period, I need some Tylenol, blah, blah, blah. Either DoorDash the shit to you or just send you the money. I'm talking about the ones where every single thing he does for you has to involve him. He's not really doing shit for you for real. And now I figured out why those type of men irritate me, because they're not truly generous. They're stingy.
Apparently there's an epidemic around the world of leftover men. So let's hear what a leftover man is.
Society is overflowing with what I like to call extra men that nobody asked for. And it sounds harsh. We're not trying to male bash or anything. It's just a reality. So I want you to think of the fact that there is a demographic of unnecessary men. Think clearance rack at Walmart. I'm not trying to be funny. I promise.
The 97 cent bin.
Just think there's always going to be a group of men that don't get married, that's never chosen, that nobody wants to have babies with, nobody wants to make eye contact with. Women clutch their purses when they walk past them. You know what I mean?
All stacked up like some flapjack.
All right.
Oh.
Those men are amongst us, and they are dangerous because a lot of them are radicalized to think they are owed a woman. Mm-hmm. A lot of men think that, they have this entitlement because of how they were brought up in the patriarchy.
Come on over here and get your Roma, huh?
Another thing to consider is this is a response to Jason Black discount bin. Don't be surprised if Sovereign Woman is listening to Jason Black and seething, and now she's like, look, there's leftover men, there's extra men. Bum ass. Sovereign Woman gotta be one of the most bitter bum ass women ever. Look at the smug on her face. Huh? Don't be surprised if Sovereign Woman hears brothers using that Jason Black quote and calling women like her discount bin women, because you can see she's psychologically broken like hell. Little bitter Betty. And so her response is, no, the men are the ones that's left over. The men earn more. We pull the men out of society, those extra men, we pull them out of society and it breaks and it collapses. Shut your lame ass up. Somebody tell me, what exactly is Sovereign Woman doing for anyone? What exactly outside of destroying social cohesion, what exactly are you doing for anyone? Oh, you know what? We'll do you one better, Sovereign. What are you doing for women? What exactly are you doing for women other than making sure that the majority of single black women in specific are single black and struggling? Huh? What are you doing for them exactly? Oh, wait, look at this. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the U.S. Sovereign, what exactly would you say you do here? Can't play it. I already deleted off the channel. Sorry, y'all. Huh? What exactly would you say you do here? But make sure that black women have all this angst and this anger towards black men and then don't got nothing to show for it and nothing to show for anything, really. Huh? Bitter? Okay, check. Resentful towards men? Okay, check. Huh? Misandrous? Yep. Any money? Nope. Struggling? Yep. Horny? Yep. Lonely? Yep. Well, what exactly would you say you do, Sovereign, other than yap? Huh? You psychologically diddle women, black women in specific, with the ideas that they gonna make it, giving black men the middle finger, and well, the lie detector determined that was a lie. Average income in America, 67,000. Median income in America, 43,000. What y'all think that means for black women? What you think their median income is? 35, 32,000 dollars a year? Huh? But sovereign woman's answer to that is to antagonize men some more with all of this talk of being extra men. Huh? Yeah. Huh? A bunch of extra men, right, Sovereign? A bunch of extra men, and yet women all across the board, college educated women, crying because them student loans is stomping them in the clit. Huh? The student loans are elbowing them in the chest, in the breast. Huh? But it's a whole lot of extra men. Yeah, that's it. Leftover men. Okay, yeah, that's it. Leftover men, but the women are struggling financially. Okay. Yep. Yep. Dominic says, sovereign woman gives feminism a bad name. No, sovereign woman is feminism. No, sovereign woman is just loud about it. Sovereign woman doesn't give feminism a bad name. Sovereign woman is the logical conclusion. Sovereign woman is the logic. Y'all need to stop doing that. No, that's not real feminism. No, that's not real feminism. Y'all sound like the capitalists. No, that's crony capitalism. No, that's corporate capitalism. No, that's not real capitalism. That's corporatism. That's corporate. No, nope, it's capitalism. It's the logical conclusion. Same thing with feminism. Look at that. She's not practicing real feminism. No, she is. No, she is. It's the logical conclusion.
What she is doing is she's not hiding behind flowersy rhetoric. She's not hiding behind euphemism and nuance. No, sovereign woman is the logical conclusion to leftover women, to black women. Black women are supposed to sound the way they do. They're not white women. Sovereign woman is supposed to sound exactly how she does in a feminism that was built by white women and black women took it on. She not chosen. And sovereign woman's not an ugly woman. At least not physically, she's not. No, sovereign sound exactly how a black woman, out-group woman, she sound exactly how the face of out-group women is supposed to sound. How else is sovereign supposed to sound? No, sovereign is what feminism look like black women. How else are out-group women supposed to sound? You ain't chosen. You're not elite white women. You're not white women, period. And you are the face of out-group women. She's supposed to sound like burn it to the ground. I don't get to be an elite white woman hiding behind feminism. Nope. She sounds exactly like what she's supposed to sound like. No, this is feminism. She's doing feminism the right way as an out-group woman. Huh? No, y'all better claim sovereign. She's doing feminism exactly the way she's supposed to do it as an out-group woman. Huh? Dominic says, sovereign woman is rude, selfish, thoughtless, unbearable. Rude? Have you seen these feminists on college campuses? Selfish, baby deletion, celebrating lowering birth rate, celebrating the 4B movement. Thoughtless, yeah, once again, birth rate going to crash. How are women the most out of the system, put the least into the system, and then turn and celebrate lowering birth rate? You know, children that would be helping to hold the same way. Because we don't want to have children. We know men are earlier than women, so women benefit from that. Social Security and whatnot, all the social programs and whatnot. Then those same women celebrate this. I think it's funny just to come in. No, sovereign woman is feminism. Unbearable. Once again, sovereign woman. Once again, feminism. Huh? Oh man, I'm Borging. Jesus. Damn it. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna try to find a place where I'm not Borging, y'all. If I'm bored, god damn it, that sucks. Okay, let's see. Somebody tell me I'm not Borging. Tell me when I'm not Borging. Tell me when I'm not Borging. This sucks. Right? Somebody tell me I'm not Borging. Okay. Hopefully I'm not Borging now. Better. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm over here shouting my lungs out. But no, Dominic, no. Sovereign woman is feminism. She is feminism. Huh? Sovereign woman is feminism. Yeah, she's rude. That's feminism. Yeah, she's selfish. That's feminism. Yeah, she's thoughtless. That's feminism. Yeah, she's unbearable. That's feminism. Huh? Sovereign woman is the logical conclusion to a feminism and to a womanhood or to a society that sold men, these innocent, soft, angelic creatures called girls and women who wouldn't harm a fly and who are better than you mere mortal boys and men. Huh? Sovereign woman is the logical conclusion of when those girls and women who grew up in that system come out here in the real world and they think they're better than the boys and men. They think they're smarter. They think they have more value, inherent value. It don't matter if you cured cancer as a man. A woman who did nothing but be here and exist on planet Earth is still valued more than you. The logical conclusion is sovereign woman. And the young men are telling you they're experiencing this.
You know, as a kid, I was never taught how evil girls could be. I always was taught like they're sweet, innocent, nice. And it's like, they never was sweet and nice. Some were, but so many of them were always just rude, crybabies, just so much emotion, didn't care about, and selfish. Like, but you're not really taught that as a kid. Like, I had to learn the fact that girls will tell you, hold up, mama calling, and really they're on the phone with another nigga. I had to learn that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Or I had to watch some of these things happen to other people. I had to learn the fact that girls do cheat. You know, you taught as a little kid, oh, only niggas cheat. Dad a cheater, dad a cheater. My parents were married, two-parent household, not the same situation. But you always taught the men cheat, the men are bad people. They don't tell you, oh, wives are cheating, yes. The wives are using dudes for their money. They're not really teaching you. You gotta kind of learn that as a man as you get older. Like, nobody told me, yeah, a girl will leave you to go get ran through by a bunch of dudes. I had to watch that happen to other people to see, like, damn, girls do that? I thought they couldn't do nothing wrong. No one told me that girls are just getting pregnant by niggas just because they bored. Like, they'll just trap a nigga. I didn't know that. I've never been trapped, but I'm saying, like, I had to watch it happen to other people for me to realize, like, damn, they do that. And there's so many things about girls you just never learn as a kid. Or even as a teenager. Like, no one teaches you that. It's some people who will get taught that. But a lot of times, you gotta just learn it and be heartbroken when you see this shit happening. Like, I've been hurt over shit that never even happened to me. Like, I've seen other dudes go through shit with a girl, and I'm just looking like, man, that shit bold. Or I see a girl I know doing something to a random nigga I don't know, and I'm like, bro, that shit is bogus as fuck. And it's like, I know in his head, he's thinking she's an innocent sweetheart. And I'm looking like, she's a bitch. You don't even know it. This girl's a bitch, and you try your best to get her, and she's just a bitch. And it's crazy. Like, I watched this shit all through high school. I've seen girls I never even took serious be all over me, offering me buns, offering me everything. Did I accept it? No. But I'm looking like, damn, I'm not doing nothing for you. I don't even really like you. Why are you offering all this to me? And it'd be a dude who liked him. They're like, that nigga weird. I don't like him. And I'm just looking like, he's the dude who's actually trying to treat you right. Why are you offering shit to me? I'm not going to treat you like nothing because you're nothing to me. And it's like, I had to learn that. I wasn't taught that as a kid. You know?
We train our daughters, we raise our daughters, we teach our daughters that boys and men mean you no good. They're going to lie, they're going to cheat, they might physically harm you. And we teach and raise our boys to do right by girls and women, to defer to girls and women. Girls and women are innocent, they're kind, they're thoughtful, they have feelings, you have to protect their feelings. Huh? Yikes. And what ends up happening is that your sons come out here in the real world and get punched in the face, maybe quite literally, by the reality that women are at the very least human beings. They don't only possess and they don't only behave with the positive traits of being a human. Oh, there's a whole lot of negativity over there. Huh? We don't speak about women being condescending, mean, rude, snarky. We don't speak about women being violent. No, we don't speak about none of that. We don't speak about women and how does it look when the XX chromosome is a megalomaniac? How does that look? We don't speak about women possibly being manipulative. No, we leave that for your sons to find out the worst way through experience. Huh? So the girls and the women are armed with at the very least being suspicious of men and boys. The men and boys, excuse me, the men and boys are armed with, oh, wait a minute, they're not armed with anything. One worse, Z, they're defanged concerning girls and women. So the girls and women are armed to be suspicious of men. The men and the boys are defanged. And then they run into the entitlement of women. Then they run into the violence, both verbal, physical, psychological, mental, and emotional violence of women. Huh. And now, shout out to the internet and social media, what girls and women and boys and men are running into is the bullying of women that never ceases. Never cease. Even women, if I could find the clip, a teacher, white woman teacher, tells you, you know, men will have boys will have a fight and then they'll be cool the next day. If your daughter gets on the wrong side of the queen bee, she's going to have to change schools. And even that might not be a guarantee for your daughter's peace, because that girl might bully her online. That was a white female teacher that said that. So if that young lady does that to a girl, what would she do to a boy? Ooh, if that type of behavior isn't checked, what happens when she becomes an adult? What is she going to do to men? How is she going to behave concerning men? Z, what does this have to do with superfluous men? Sovereign is speaking like this because of what? Does she care about other women? Does she care about the outcomes of other black women? Or is she just talking? Huh? And Trail says, the potential for both good and evil is within every human. As Vince said, he got that from Dr. Green Gorilla, both men and women exhibit virtue and vice. But we don't speak like that, particularly in the black community. And the black community, the way we speak is the default for women is virtue, and the default for men is vice. Huh? We treat our sons like they are defective white boys and defective black girls simultaneously. Huh? The believe all women trope. That is how we speak. That is what we truly believe, or at least we do a really good job at pretending we believe it. Huh? Both men and women exhibit virtue and vice, but we minimize women's vice, huh? And we put a spotlight on men's vice. I think they did a study in Britain that showed that when it was a woman that was doing something heroic, we made sure, or they made sure, better yet, to emphasize that it was a woman. When it was a man, they said a person. They minimized his gender, his sex when it was a man. They emphasized it when it was a woman. Huh? Yeah. Let's read this from Dominic. And Dominic says, Dominic is Dominique. I don't know why I keep on saying Dominic, but okay, fine. Dominique says, sovereign woman is not a logical conclusion because she's not logical. I see where you're going there. I hear you. I accept what you said and I forward to you, but she is the logical conclusion, whether she's being logical or not. She is the logical conclusion. Everything I just said speaks to that. We didn't raise our girls and our boys that girls are humans too. That they can be negative also. That's not how we raised our boys and our girls, particularly in the black community. Sovereign is the logical conclusion because sovereign is what happens when, once again, you emphasize the vice of boys and men, particularly in the black community, and you emphasize the virtue of girls and women, particularly in the black community. So she is the logical conclusion, whether she individually is being logical or not. Kim Foster is the logical conclusion. Chrissy is the logical conclusion. Real Talk with Yenny is the logical conclusion. Huh? Divested zealot, those are all the logical conclusion. Shira 7, all of those folks, that's the logical conclusion of the color purple, of waiting to excel. Huh? That's the logical conclusion. Whether it was television show, book, movie, commercials, when you have the default be the woman is more serious than the man. She's the smart one or witty one. Regardless if he earns more, he's a bumbling idiot. Huh? She's the mature one. She's the smart one. What do you think the end result of that is? Huh? Dominique, that's a real question. What do you think the end result of that is? Let me show you what the end result of that is in the minds of the women.
What if black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
That is the logical conclusion. Sovereign ain't saying something too much different than that. I'll spare y'all Munchkin. Huh? Dominique, that's the logical conclusion. Sovereign ain't saying nothing new or radical. She's just speaking boldly, but Sovereign ain't saying nothing new or radical. We were always going to get here. BGS says that's not what they really want, though. But BGS, I'm about pushing that line. If you're going to talk like that, we're going to make you mean it. BGS, you hear me? You hear my tagline? Oh, we're going to make you mean that. No, we both know they don't really mean it, but we're going to make them mean it. Huh? Let me play the clip for Indigo. Where she went? Where is she? Where did she go? Here we go. Shout out to Indigo Flow.
Look at me. Look at me. If you were single, if you were a single woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, look at me. Okay. I was feeling great about myself. I was like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm single. I don't need no man. I actually really would love a man, and I do need a man. But just, this is what we say when we're single and we just want to. Anyway, focus, Medina. Look at me.
And Indigo Flow said, we know, but we're going to make you mean it anyway. Exactly. Huh? BGS said, I agree. No, BGS, exactly. We're going to make them mean it. Huh? That's one of your generation's quotes, BGS. Don't sign a check that your ass can't cash. No, the women talking like that, we're going to make them mean it. They think that it's empowering to talk. Oh, we don't need no man. All right, we're going to make you mean that. Huh? That's why I continue to emphasize the outliers are doing too much talking. Because the men will tell other men, shut the hell up. The women, on the other hand, I don't want to go against the sisterhood. Okay, then. Stand over there and starve and die then. You know I would say something like that. BJ said, yep, hold him. Yep. Hold them ovaries. Hold them ovaries, exactly. Hold those ovaries, exactly. Indigo said, I bet, exactly. Huh? We know they don't really mean it, but you talking about it though. And we're gonna make you mean it. If this is what it is to feel empowered as a woman, is to say to men how much you don't need them, you don't want them around, that there's too many of them, there's extra men, Once again, going to my title, Superfluous Men. Okay, then, we gonna make you mean that, Sovereign. You might be okay. Your sister, on the other hand, dear ladies, if y'all not gonna run these goddamn loud, obnoxious women the hell up out of here, then you can go over there and starve. You notice Mr. Z didn't say starve with them because Sovereign gonna make sure she all right. Kim Foster talk a lot of crap. She's in a relationship now, isn't she? She could tell you the same thing with Drew off Yellow. They could tell you, no, I got a special, different type of man, and he understands me, and he understands the feminism. And I looked behind him when we did the online dating, and he had the book from Bell Hooks behind him, and she could talk all that crap, but she made sure she under a man, whether he make more than her or not. From my understanding, he's Greek life too. Oh, she made sure she with a man with a network. She could talk all that crap she want. Same thing with Drew off Yellow, old wrestler built ass. They could talk all that crap they want. They made sure they're under a man. Paris Milan, she made sure she's under a man. Huh? All that crap they talk. Huh? That sound nice. All that crap sound nice. I said it before. The Chrissies of the world, the Real Talk with Yannies of the world, the Paris Malone, well, not Paris Malone's gone now, but all these women, they're going to walk y'all off the edge of the cliff into a lifetime supply of antidepressant pills, into loneliness, into buzzing yourself to numbness with that rose toy, and they're going to pick your pocket right before you fall off that edge of that cliff. They go snatch your pocketbook, they go snatch your wallet, they go snatch your purse right before you fall off the edge of that cliff. You see what I'm saying, Charles? It's easy to talk ish from undercover. You hear me? Huh? And all these other women are behind them like, yeah. All these other women talking that crap. Meanwhile, if y'all remember when Miss Foster first got where her dude is, she made her relationship public. And yeah, she was streaming, talking mad crap about black men once again, but she was glowing when she was sitting on that couch. She couldn't hold the smile down. Now she was talking crap about all the rest of black men. Her elitist asshole ass. Sorry for y'all eardrums. If you got headphones in, Mr. Z, sorry to your eardrums. Huh? Oh, she was talking crap about all you everyday black men, but she was glowing while she was sitting on that couch. Huh? The outliers are doing too much talking. Sovereign doing too much talking. All that sound nice, Sovereign. That's how we know y'all don't care about other black women. Shout out to Chrissy. Chrissy heard Z say that so many times she finally had to address it. No, I make content for the women who like when I make it. Yeah, that sound nice, huh? Because you had to actually sit down. Do I actually care about black women's outcomes? Do I actually care about dark-skinned black women? Or am I just being antagonistic to black men because they didn't make us white women and we don't got Wakanda? Huh? Uh-oh. So we're going to play it one more again for those of you that didn't see it earlier. Once again, shout out to Passport OG. And here we go.
Society is overflowing with what I like to call extra men that nobody asked for. And it sounds harsh. We're not trying to male bash or anything. It's just a reality.
You drip me out and then maybe we can talk about...
A quick good day to all of my leftover men that are watching this video. If you're not the type of guy who is prepared to engage this type of attitude, then you may too be a leftover man in today's modern dating environment.
There was a creator on here talking about the worst kind of man to date, and those are the men that will literally spend on activities for you both. He will not spend on you unless he's benefiting from it. I couldn't understand why this type of man irritates me so much, because I mean, he's doing stuff, he's putting in effort, But why the you can't just ever send me my funds for me? Those type of don't really care about you. It's all about the ones that still provide when they're not in your presence. That's a real generous man, not a man that buys
Shout out to her framing.
He benefits from it. I'm taking dates. If it's a gift, he benefits from that gift. The biggest example of this
Oh,
is like,
shout out to her framing.
Send me some Tylenol, food, flowers, whatever. Right? And he says something like, "I'll pick you up and I'll take you there." What the fuck if I just want to be by myself right now? I feel like a real generous man, you tell him something like, "I'm on my period, I need some Tylenol, blah, blah, blah." Either DoorDash the shit to you or just send you the money.
I'm a selfish asshole gold digger.
He does for you has to involve him.
But I'm gonna frame it like you're the problem.
And now I figured out why those type of men irritate me, because they're not truly generous. They're stingy.
Apparently, there's an epidemic around the world of leftover men. So let's hear what a leftover man is.
Society is overflowing with what I like to call extra men that nobody asked for. And it sounds harsh. We're not trying to male bash or anything. It's just a reality. So I want you to think of the fact that there is a demographic of unnecessary men. Think clearance rack at Walmart. I'm not trying to be funny. I promise.
Unnecessary men.
Just think there's always going to be a group of men that don't get married, that's never chosen, that nobody wants to have babies with, nobody wants to make eye contact with. Women clutch their purses when they walk past them. You know what I mean?
Oh, stacked up like some flapjack.
All right.
Oh.
Those men are amongst us, and they are dangerous because a lot of them are radicalized to think they are owed a woman. A lot of men think that, they have this entitlement because of how they were brought up in the patriarchy.
Come on over here and get your aroma, huh? So we can make pigs in a blanket. Mrs. Butterworth.
So let's just assume that there's a large glut of...
You know who Mr. Z's gonna get on right now? Not even sovereign woman. I almost dropped that. God, that F-bomb was right there, y'all. Boy, that F-bomb was right there. Shout out to those of you who are driving in the car with your children. That was okay. All right, that was right there. That was right there. I never pressed brakes so hard in my life. Okay. The puppet master white women behind sovereign women. The puppet, if there's a demographic on planet Earth, these goddamn white women, the worst thing that God ever created, ever. The puppet master white women behind sovereign, encouraging her. Oh my God. Z, calm down. I know. It's always some goddamn feminist white women behind every goddamn sexist woman of color. If you follow the money, you gon' end up in a white woman's purse, probably in a white man's wallet after the fact, but still, you gon' end up in a white woman's purse. Jesus Christ. It's always some puppet master white woman. Panda Man says, sheesh, Z sounds really upset because it's always some puppet master white woman. Forget sovereign. It's always a puppet master white woman. Once again, we ain't letting her off the hook. Shout out to the Roger Report. The Roger Report rule. You got to be held accountable for what you choose to believe in. Yes, with that, these goddamn puppet master white women. It's always some feminist white woman encouraging whoever the hell woman to take it as far as it'll go. Every single time. And I can't remember the podcast she's on. Sovereign's on a podcast with these two other white women. I'm pretty sure that's where this clip comes from. Huh? It's always some, yeah, girl, white woman. And then half those white women turn around and get married on their ass. Half those white women turn around and get married on black women, leaving black women holding the bag, the poverty bag, the struggle bag, the loneliness and horniness bag, the being the jump off for every man bag, black men, white men, Latino men, Asian men. Huh? The concubine class bag. White women pop all that crap and then turn around and get married on y'all ass. Oh, you gotta love it. Now she might be divorced from that white man in 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. She gonna mess around and marry a black man on your ass. Meanwhile, you out here with all the angst and anger in the world with no man. Pathetic. It's always some puppet master, sexist, loser ass white woman. Huh? And then you watching black women like seals clapping it up. Yeah, girl. Okay, yeah, all right. Sovereign, you getting older. I see them wrinkles on that face. Huh? I think she said she got a man now. Whatever. She got some dude. Huh? It's always some. When Bill Burr said Gucci booted feet, or however he framed it, Gucci booted feet, you would have thought black women would have. You know what? The white man who's married to a black woman is telling you how white women get down. Nope. Turn around and then there's the election and then you see black women all brokenhearted again. Oh, 55% of white women voted for Donald Trump. What you thought, dumbass? Huh? Shout out to Kim Foster. Ooh, the more white women that aren't married, the more likely they are to vote Democrat. Oh my God. Well, we're here now. How did those predictions go, Miss Foster? Oops. Because everybody has it wrong. I said this in 2016 to an Asian young lady I was working with. I don't know why y'all think white women want to be Hillary Clinton. They would much rather be Melania Trump. Oops. Guess what? Election passed. Guess what she started saying? Z, I just wanted to say you were right. There you go. Mm-hmm. Asian young lady I was working with. Yeah. Y'all keep thinking the majority of white women would rather be Hillary Clinton. I don't know what drugs you on. You think the majority of white women would rather be Kamala Harris? They'll pop that with you. Shout out to liberal women. Liberal white women go say that to you, liberal black women, but they would much rather be Melania Trump than Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Warren, to be frank. Yes, if you think Mr. Z is saying that your average white woman would rather be with the spoiled brat 80-year-old, the little sassy 80-year-old, but they know they're set and their children are set forever. If you think Mr. Z is saying that, that's because I am saying that. Huh? Uh-oh. So Sovereign is being encouraged by these weirdo women. She takes that, other black women take that and do what with it? Can your average black woman afford this crap, Sovereign? No, they can't, but you're going to do it anyway. You're going to speak like this anyway. And the end result is what exactly? Broken wallet black women. Sassy, struggling black women. How you sassy and you struggling? How you smug and you're struggling? Smug, sassy, struggling black women. Huh? You struggling? Let me guess. You don't have a man. I don't need a man. Okay, there we go. Yep, yep, yep. Ooh, Adric. Ooh. Adric says Kamala Harris don't want to be Kamala. Ooh. Ooh. Adric, go into details about that. Ooh. Adric says Kamala don't even want to be Kamala. What you talking about, Z? Let me read these super chats. Talking about that. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Big Mo says, I'm down here in Tampa for work. These Latinas, and you're not even where the Latinas really are. You're in Tampa. The Latinas are in Orlando. They're on the other side of Florida. You're on the west side of Florida. The Latinas really are on the east side of Florida. You need to start. You need to drive southeast. You drive east to Orlando. You're gonna see a bunch of Latinas there, especially at the malls and whatnot. Then if you go south to, once you start getting to Port St. Lucie, definitely once you start getting to Palm Beach County, Broward County, and obviously Dade County, that's Miami, Dade County. Oh, the Latinos are everywhere. You can't throw a rock without hitting a Latina. Huh? But yeah, there are Latinas in Tampa, obviously Tallahassee, which is the capital. The schools are up there. Yeah, you got Latinas scattered all over Florida, clearly, obviously. And Tampa is one of the bigger cities, but nah, the Latinas are not in Tampa. The Latinas are in Orlando. Obviously, once you get into the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade County, that's when you start seeing the Latinas for real, right? Yeah, you're gonna see a couple Latinas in Fort Myers, Naples, where you are, in Tampa, St. Pete, Tallahassee. Yeah, but the Latinas really are on the east coast of Florida, on the east side, definitely from Orlando and down, but definitely Palm Beach County and down. That's where you're gonna see the Latinas for real, right? And Big Mo, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And KW Don says, and thank you for the super chat. All these black misandrists online pose themselves as black women, empowerment channels, but they are disempowering. There we go. Disempowering black women. There's no discussion about health, wealth, and their take on relationship is destructive. KW Don, what does a sovereign woman look like talking about wealth with black women, and black women don't got no man? You're gonna have to tough it out on your own and hope that you find yourself in the spaces with a man who can match you or above? Huh? And then you're a black woman, so the majority of non-black men ain't really checking for you like that. The fundamental problem with a lot of these black female channels is they can't be honest with black women about their limited options and the fact that America is still an anti-black country, so that's your ass. They can't be honest with black women because they're gonna have to admit to black women the political, social, and economic environment that demands that black women get on the black man's program or starve. Even if you're gonna try to pull this yourself, it's going to cripple you, particularly as a woman, particularly as a black woman. And if you're gonna pull this yourself, are you prepared to pull this yourself for the rest of your life? You want to talk about being nihilistic? Feeling defeated before you even start? Sovereign is not telling no black women the reality of the environment, the reality of the times. The US dollar is not what it used to be. You ain't gonna pull this freight by yourself, children or not. You could pull this freight by yourself, maybe if you Ebony K. Williams. Maybe if you're Kim Foster. Maybe. Huh? Outside of that, you ain't pulling this by yourself for the rest of your life. What's the Average life expectancy of a black woman, 70 something, 75, 78 years old, something like that. You gonna pull this freight, retire at what, 67 years old, live another 11 years without starving, without being homeless? You're 25 years old, you're 30 years old, you're gonna work for the next 37 years? Huh? You're gonna work the next 37 years with no financial help from a man? Really? Retire and not go homeless for another 11 years on top of that? Get out of here. Sovereign and other black women with this weirdo stuff, Shira 7, huh? Chrissy and whatnot. Ain't nobody trying to be honest with black women. You know they're not trying to be honest with black women when Chrissy talk like this.
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
And then you see things like this. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. I said it. Their gender war, particularly against black men, they turn your average black woman into nothing but cannon fodder. They don't care about your average black woman. Huh? A disproportionate number of black women are kinless as they age. Advocates say they deserve a social safety net too. They deserve a social safety net also. Why do they deserve a social safety? Oh, I get it. What you're saying is they don't have enough money to sustain them at their older ages. I wonder why. Oh, wait, you told us in the beginning. A disproportionate number of black women are kinless as they age. The problem is when you're honest with black women about the landscape, you completely destroy that fake ass empowerment they feel by giving black men the middle finger. Because you tell them, actually, us giving black men the middle finger, it actually cost us. Like, it doesn't just cost you your loneliness and your horniness. It doesn't just cost you that money for them antidepressant pills. No, it costs you even more money because there's not a man that passes before you and pay off a house. He leaves you his life insurance. He leaves you whatever portion of his social security. Huh? He leaves you kids that's going to help you in your older age. Oh, you never got on the man's program. You never got on the black man's program, so you get none of it. See, Sovereign, Chrissy, Real Talk with Yanny, even though Real Talk with Yanny tried to put out one of these disclaimer videos for her decenter men. Nice try. Huh? So no, yeah, KW Don, they're not going to be honest with the ladies. Their health, stop it. We already know the second you start talking to black women about their weight, boy, all they go downhill from there. They're not talking to black women about their wealth or their health. They're not. And we should rephrase that. Their lack of wealth and their crappy health. Ooh, look at Z Robin. Huh? And thank you for the super chat, KW Don. Thank you for the super chat. Talking about that. And Low Value Mel says, if this could show, that'd be great. There we go. Leftover men who didn't get quote unquote removed in war. No, that's exactly what she's saying. And she's not the only one to somewhat forward this. There's been other feminists that spoke like this. There's been other men who wouldn't even claim feminists that I've heard this from, both on and offline. Superfluous men. So the difference between these folks and the idea of the kamikaze Japanese fighter pilot is what? We need less men so that we can value the men that we do have more. What? Wait, what? So the same women who keep saying they won't share men, even though we know they are sharing men, but okay, fine. The same women who say they won't share a man, they won't be a side chick to a man, bull. We know it's bull, but okay, fine, for argument's sake, are then turning around and saying we have too many superfluous men. Mr. Z just said too many twice. Okay, fine. We have an abundance of men. Men are superfluous. We have too many men. We have leftover men. And the leftover men, once again, this is just women taking what men say and trying to turn it around to antagonize you. Yawn. Like I said, Sovereign probably heard Jason Black speaking about the discount bin concerning women and this. Well, we got discount bin. Y'all a discount bin. Okay, yeah, that's it. Men literally uphold the physical infrastructure of the society, and yeah, the men are the yeah. The men are the ones that are superfluous. Yeah, that's it. We have a growing amount of women who are not even having children. Forget children within wedlock. They're not having children at all. They don't even earn the median income in America. And we're speaking about superfluous men. Okay, let's see, get this right. Women who work not even middle management. Okay, fine. A woman who works a retail job. She doesn't earn really good money. She has no children. She might not ever have any children. Cool. She doesn't own her own business, so there's no employees. Okay, cool. She's not in a relationship, so she's not even providing a man with any emotional, mental support. And yet the men are superfluous. Okay, alrighty then. The men are left over. A growing number of women, remember, women take more out the system than men do. A growing number of women who have no children and no man who take more out of the system than they put in. But yet the men are superfluous. Alrighty then. Okay, yes, yeah, that's it, Sovereign. Yep. Checks out. Thank you for the super chat, low volume mail. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, checks out. Huh? And Telescope says the average American has $87,000 saved up for retirement, according to the Federal Reserve. Z can't be independent for long on that. Let's say at best, if they're super lucky and they spend their money, they're very conservative with how they spend their money. They're very, very careful. They penny pinch at the very most. If you're not going nowhere and you only living off of your necessities and your house is paid off. You still got to pay property taxes, so there's that. But fine, at the Telescope, I'm being stupid generous with this. At the most, you can, if it's 87,000 cash after taxes, we gonna make it as sweet as humanly possible. 87 after taxes, straight cash. At the most, you got 3 years. At the most, because give or take, because we'll add 3,000 and make it 90,000. At the most, you got 3 years, 30,000 a year. At the most. If we wanted to be straight jacket, stupid, dumb, generous, 4 years. I'm being stupid, dumb, generous. I'm bending all the math to give you 4 years. To be honest, you got 2 years. You have 2 years. 87,000, you have 2 years. You have 2 years. But if I wanted to bend the math in the most generous way humanly possible, you have 4 years with $87,000. And that's 4 years. Your grandkids ain't asking you for nothing. Your children ain't asking you for nothing. You're not handing out no money to a friend that fell on hard times, a relative that fell on hard times. You're not going nowhere, so you're not spending that much money on gas. Huh? You're not going out of town. You're not going shopping you're not going to retail stores and buying all type of bags and shoes. Because you're not doing any of that. You church and home. Huh? In America, 87,000 in a major city, and you're retired. Like I said, your children better not be asking you for no money. Your grandchildren better not be asking you for any money. Friends and relatives and associates, old co-workers, you better have a Honda Civic or Toyota, a Honda Civic or Toyota Corolla sipping on gas. You better not have one of these Earth Destroyer SUVs or trucks. Huh? If I bend the math, it'd be insanely generous. 4 years. But if we're going to be honest, 2 years max. Give or take, if I add an extra 3 on that 87, 90,000, that's $45,000. That's $45,000 a year. I know, Telescope, property taxes, medical bills. I'm saying this got to be the most healthy let's say 68-year-old, 70-year-old, 72-year-old on the planet. They don't have no health concerns, no busted knee. They don't need to replace their hip. None of that. Nope. We're gonna. I'm saying this person is damn near God level human. No one's digging in their pockets. They have the cleanest bill of health you ever seen for a 72-year-old. Huh? So they don't have any medical bills. And somehow, I can't do the property tax because we already know you're going to get hit with property tax. Huh? How's this? Detroit says, don't forget the state taxes and federal taxes. Huh? So Sovereign could talk all that crap. This don't work. Chrissy could talk that crap. This don't work. Kim Foster, name them. None of this works. The math don't math for women if they're not attached to a man. The math don't. Your average woman, the math doesn't math for them if they're not attached to a man. So Tiffany Cross and Angela Rye, all these outliers just talking too goddamn much. Shut up. Either black women are on our program or starve and die and move out the way for a woman who's going to get on our program. Point blank, period. Whether it's Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, Simone. Well, ooh, wait. Simone Sanders married. Ooh. Can't say Simone Sanders. She married. Yikes. Abby Phillips is married with this smug ass face. Uh-oh. Ebony K. Williams could afford the smug ass face financially. Mentally, on the other hand, Amanda Seals financially could afford it. Huh? It's a whole lot of outlier women talking a whole lot. Meanwhile, your average black woman out here struggling, single and struggling. How the hell you sound? How you smug and sassy and single and struggling? Huh? Yikes. Meat says, delivered to Miami yesterday. Terrible traffic and $30 truck parking. Didn't even get to see any hotties. Yeah, bro. I bet. I bet. If you were in the heart of Miami, like Miami, the actual city, oh yeah, bro. Especially if you're in midday traffic, man. Pretty much traffic all day. In the actual city, the city. Yeah. Black Rose said, and notice how light skinned, because y'all know how Black Rose said, how light skinned a lot of these smug outliers are. Cross, Yee, Aisha, yeah. It's look, when you are good, like Trell said, it's easy to pop that crap when you got covering. Huh? It's you know what it is? It's the proverbial white feminist talking all that crap, but she a stay-at-home mother. She a stay-at-home wife and mother, pumping all that feminist crap. All that sound nice. Ma'am, let me remove your husband's wallet and your husband from your life, and let's see how well you probably still be talking that crap under a bridge. Cheryl said light-skinned privilege. Oh man. Oh, of course. And Terry says, I went to Miami last month. It was 85% Spanish at South Beach. Of course. Right. Indigo says, Brad in the background, like, is dinner ready yet, hon? Exactly. So I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. Mr. Z got a lot to do today. I just wanted to come to y'all with this because shout out to Passport OG. Oh man, sovereign woman. God damn, boy, that smug face, boy. That smug on her face. You gotta love it because like we know the numbers, so we know what this is costing your everyday woman, your everyday black woman, right? We know it. So she could talk out a superfluous men thing all she wants. Once again, the average man spends $5,000 to $12,000 more per year when in relationship. So all that superfluous man stuff sound good. It sounds empowering. Huh? Sovereign could talk all that all she wants. All of these folks could find interesting ways of giving black men the middle finger and men the middle finger. This gonna cost you. Everyday average black women, this is gonna cost you. Telescope says walking around with fake ass smug mug. Look, smug as hell on a resting bee face. Black Uru says, is ICE rummaging through South Florida? Yeah, they hitting people up. They getting people. You see the I will vote for Donald Trump. The Latina that was doing the little two-step merengue, whatever the hell. Yeah, they hit her husband. Her husband is gone. I'm not joking. Huh? The I will vote for Donald Trump. Mr. Z pronouncing it the right way. Yeah, they got her husband. And the interviewer a ish because they reminded her, what do you have to say after you advocated for voting for Donald Trump? And she put her head down and turned away. Huh? Yeah. Shout out to all the people of color who think you're included when white people are talking. Shout out to all you almost white Latinos who think they talking about you when they talking about white power and white supremacy. Look, I live in South Florida. I'm around some of the most anti-black white supremacist Cubans you ever gonna meet. Huh? They really think they're included in the conversation. The Ted Cruzes of the world, don't get it twisted. Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio are not the same. Marco Rubio knows better. Marco Rubio knows better. But he's stuck in it now. That's what you get, dumb smart ass. Huh? The Ted Cruzes of the world who think they're included, well, Exactly, Indigo. Wrong type of white. And now we're here. Yeah, there's a lot. Venezuelans are getting hit upside the head. Cubans who've been in America for 20 years and still don't got their papers. Okay, whatever. They're getting hit upside the head. Yeah, Black Ooh, they getting hit. Yeah, they're rummaging through Dade and Broward County and Palm Beach County. There's a whole lot of Latinos ducking. Yeah, South Florida even got a handful of Mexicans too. Florida, excuse me, better yet, Florida has a Mexican population too. They everybody getting hit. Haitians who don't got their papers, which we're more likely to get our papers because we're black. Yeah, some Jamaicans are getting caught up. Haitians are getting caught up. Some Bahamians are getting caught up. But for the most part, not really black folks like that because, well, we're black, so we know better. But the Latinos, oh yeah, they get hemmed up. Oh, they get hemmed up. And Meat says, and thank you for the super chat. Married stay-at-home white women yelling, "You go, girl," to black women and waving waving them further from stability. Oh yeah. White women been pulling this on black women. We won't say since the plantation. We'll say, to be nice, pretty much since the end of Jim Crow. White women been puppeteering black women on this type of time, I'm saying. Yeah. They encourage and they entice black women with these ideas of black women's freedom and liberation and not having to care what men think and not being under a man's thumb, et cetera, et cetera. And all that sounds nice and the ladies see it as empowering and that's great. Meanwhile, black women are the poorest goddamn demographic in America outside of some Native American women. Huh? Y'all know that up until recently, black women earned more than Latina women, but somehow Latina women had more wealth. I wonder if that's because Latina women are more likely to get married. I wonder. I wonder. Oh, I have to make a correction, y'all. I actually put it I pinned the comment yesterday. I was wrong about that Mark Lamont Hill and Chris Hedges interview. They did another one that I can't find online, and I was mistaking that one for the one they did years ago. So no, the interview that I covered or the little piece that I played last night, that was from like 8-9 months ago, not from a few years ago. My apologies, everyone. I got y'all way confused. So I should have said that in the beginning of the stream. So let's make sure for all of you that caught Mr. Z stream last night, the interview with Chris Hedges and Mark Lamont Hill is actually from like 8-9 months ago. It's not from a few years ago. So let me make sure. I don't know why I didn't remind myself to say that in the beginning of the stream. So just in case, right? So let's make sure. Correction. On that note, y'all, Z got things to do. We'll pause right here. We'll shout out to Passport OG. Hopefully, Passport OG, I need that sovereign woman clip because I'm gonna dissect the hell out of that. And if somebody remembers what podcast she's on again with those 2 white women, if I'm not mistaken, or 3 white women, I think it's 2. If y'all don't mind sending me that link again, because somebody sent it to me a couple months ago and like it just got lost in my history. Right. So once again, Sovereign Woman is leading black women to a lifetime of single, lonely, struggle, horny, right? And that we're just making sure to keep this on record so no one tells us they didn't know. Huh? So on that note, y'all, and Meech, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. On that note, y'all, we'll pause right here. Love piece of chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Let me hurry up and get out of here before Mazie get mad because we got things to do today. We going out today, so yeah, we got things to do, right? And Chaos is giving y'all the link, right? So, all right, y'all, Mr. Z out. Oh, we didn't do our outro the right way. We'll pause right here. Love piece of chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, and Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Z out.
You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.